Good day, Kavibal, and welcome to our Speakers Demo Reel webinar series. For the demo teaching today, the topic will be on How is your new science classroom? Lesson on animals using collaborative online learning strategy and authentic material. Welcome to our Speakers Demo Reel webinar series. Before we begin, take note of the following reminders. We will be posting the Zoom link in the comment section before our demo teaching, and the first 10 participants to join the Zoom meeting will be allowed to have close interaction with the speaker during the session, have an open forum after the demo teaching, and will be able to get a copy of the presentation used today. The first 10 participants will serve as the students for the speaker's demo reel, and again will get a copy of the speaker's presentation at the end of the webinar. For those who will be chosen, make sure your microphones are turned off until asked to turn on.
Do you enjoy learning with Vibal? Make your experience even more exciting by becoming a Vibal Group fan. Exclusive perks await fan subscribers. Get access to exclusive webinars. Enjoy free teaching resources. Check out exclusive content. Get discounts on Vibal products. All of these for only 55 pesos a month. Exciting, right? Subscribe as a fan now. Here's how. Visit, click, follow. First, visit Vibal Group's Facebook page. Then click Become a Supporter to purchase a monthly subscription. Lastly, follow the prompts that appear on your screen. But don't confuse this for top fan. Nuh-uh, it's a different thing. You need to follow the easy steps. Visit, click, follow. Be a Vibal Group fan and enjoy exciting perks today.
napoy time na mas mauna po sa album yung yung ano. Kay na yun late. So, nagbaon na ko. And sa tuition sa teaching. So far, okay, mas siya knowledgeable mo po siya sa iyang subject matter. Kana lang dyan sa iyang pantingog. Kay napoy mo reklamo ko itong mga na just like atong grade 9 na sila tapos na grade 8 teacher na teacher na kasi daw sa nila madung palpin sa kuan sa likod. Yes sir, ako tapos oo tapos ako nang gi-ask kung paano sir if ever na mo itong na other time na anak ko ni sir ang lagi sa pagkakay mag-ask question na siya na balik-balik na sa yung discuss balik ko na pangutanan tapos marang-marang ito graduation na kayo na ako
Good day again, Kavibal, and welcome to our Speakers Demo Reel webinar series. For the discussion today, the topic will be on How is your new science classroom? Lesson on animals using collaborative online learning strategy and authentic material. Again, our Zoom link for this demo reel is posted in our comment section. For those who will be chosen, please participate actively to get a copy of the presentation. Before we begin, take note of the following reminders. Make sure you are registered to the webinar to have your e-certificate of participation. Visit certificate.vibalgroup.com to generate your proof of attendance. Place your questions on the comment box allotted during the session and they will be addressed by our speaker later on. Share the video using hashtag LearnAs1PH as our official hashtag to our Vibal webinars. Experience learning, Kavibal. And now, To proceed with our webinar this afternoon, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our distinguished speaker today. Ms. Jodeline S. Alas is a graduate of Philippine Normal University of Master of Arts in Educational Leadership and Management. She is currently enrolled in her thesis writing. She got her college degree, Bachelor of Elementary Education, cum laude at the Philippine Normal University. Currently, she is a professional teacher and school website administrator at Lacandula Elementary School. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Miss Jodeline S. Alas.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Jillian, and good afternoon. I will begin po by expressing my gratitude to Vibal Group for this another chance, another blessing to share to everyone. I will always be thankful and grateful to you po. Now, good afternoon, my dear co-educators. I want us to begin po by you answering these two questions I prepared. So before we start, allow me to share my screen, and then I want you po to on your own, silently and honestly reflect on these two questions. Okay, my dear co-educators, how are you really po in this difficult time? How's your classroom? I want you to silently and honestly reflect on these two questions. Now, whatever your answers may be to these two questions of mine, I want to urge you to remain kind and gentle to yourself because this is a difficult time, but your presence in our learning today is enough proof for me of your heart for our profession. I hope po that you learned something from our discussion today as I demonstrate to you a lesson on animals using one collaborative online learning strategy in the form of spider web discussion and the use of authentic materials. Now, teachers, teaching science class or whatever subject it is that you are teaching at the moment online with our learners, sharing to and learning from one another is definitely difficult. Therefore, teachers, please give spiderweb discussion po a chance because this is a collaborative learning strategy wherein students lead the conversation around a topic, question, or a text. Now, spiderweb discussion po is called spiderweb discussion because it is expected to be first synergetic, practice, independent, develop with exploration and makes use of rubric. Of course, the web in the name of the spider web discussion comes from the web-like graph that will be drawn by the teacher to keep track of the discussion. Let me show you an example I have here. I have one here po I was able to keep, although this does not look exactly like a spider web yet because during this time if I can remember it correctly, it was my learner's first time to try spiderweb discussion. It did not go as smoothly as we expect because that was the first time, but it was a very nice experience. So I want to share it to you today. All right. So aside from that, why am I suggesting spiderweb discussion to you today, po? It's because this is applicable for our distance learning. Yes, teachers, as long as learners have internet capability and a platform for synchronous video conferencing, such as Google Meet, Zoom, we're very familiar with these two, right? Spiderweb discussion can be conducted using this. Aside from that, it is applicable for our distance learning because you may use this together with the approach of flipped classroom. I'm sure many teachers are already using this. And later, I'll explain to you po why we can use spiderweb discussion together with the approach of flipped classroom. Finally, I really would like to suggest the use of spiderweb discussion as a collaborative learning strategy because this is something po that we can modify. Okay? Even the experts of spiderweb discussion, they encourage teachers to modify this strategy according to our needs and according to our situation. Therefore, teachers, if there will be parts of the spiderweb discussion or protocols in it, we will be learning later, which you think that will not work for your class, you may adjust it and modify it based on your needs and the situation of your class. Okay, so how is spiderweb discussion done before we apply it later to our demonstration? First, the student po will have to answer questions independently. This is where the idea of flipped classroom comes in. Okay. Today po, I will be requesting our very own Ma'am Jillian to send a copy of these learning materials I have prepared for my teacher learners who will act as my students today. So they will get a copy of this po. It will be sent here via Zoom. Okay. They will have to read this. Okay, and answer simple questions about it later. This one. I also included here some prompts. Okay, for easier sharing. And then what else? I also included rubrics. Okay, these rubrics they may use as guide for them to be guided on what will be expected later. Okay, reminder before I continue po, before we go to the demonstration as well. Later, I will have to meet and communicate briefly with my teacher learners before we demonstrate because for us to be able to provide effective spiderweb discussion to our learners, they must have idea about it before actually engaging them on the spot and live using your video conferencing platform. So later, I have to talk and communicate with my teacher learners later who are in our Zoom meeting for me to be able to give them idea on how this will work. All right. So after the students answering the questions or reading a text independently, you may do that during your asynchronous time or even before your online actual synchronous online meeting. You may provide them with the text or the materials already. Now after that, during the meeting, during the synchronous online meeting, they will share the responses they prepared. Of course, the teacher will just be at the background listening with very minimal input and very minimal participation. Drawing lines on a sheet of paper, I have prepared a paper here, and then the teacher will track the flow of the conversation from one learner to another, resulting in a spider web. So that's the very idea of this collaborative learning strategy. At the end of the discussion, the teacher will share the drawing. Later, you'll see me sharing the drawing over the video, and then the learners will reflect. The teachers will provide feedback as necessary. Finally, the students themselves will be the one to self-assess the discussion, and together with the teacher, they will choose a group grade using a clear and simple rubric. In my demonstration later, I will be using this rubric po. Let me present to you. In my experience, I really prefer using rubric for spiderweb discussion, which is non-numerical, for it to be non-threatening and even encouraging for the learners. So later, we'll see how this rubric will be used. Let's continue. All right. Another strategy I will share to you today, teachers, is the use of authentic material. Teachers, are you using authentic material in your teaching? Okay, I'll introduce to you what authentic materials are. So when we say authentic materials po, these refer to print, video, and audio materials that we come across with in our daily lives. Therefore, these materials po are not created specifically for classroom use. No, they are not intended originally for classroom use. Instead, we just use them in our for different purposes in our daily lives. However, why am I suggesting this to you? Is because these authentic materials can be an interest inciting, and motivating learning tool for our learners. Okay, so why use authentic materials? Teachers, authentic materials po have been proven to have positive effect on the learner motivation. Another one, they support creative approach to teaching. Only that, we need to be careful of the difficulty of the content and language we are using. Teachers, when using authentic material po, we have to make sure that it is appropriate for our learners. And then that way we can assure that it will support learning instead of causing frustration. So choosing the correct authentic material is very important. Choosing the appropriate learning material for your grade levels, for the grade level of your learners will be very necessary. Okay, now let me present to you some example authentic materials or sample authentic materials for you to have more idea. There. So authentic material features may come in print. So print authentic materials may be in the forms of TV guides, yeah, food labels, magazines, newspapers. There are also some auditory authentic materials such as radio broadcasts, movies, and television programs. Later in our demonstration, I will use for news article and television programs. Okay, now before we go to the focus of our demo reel today, I have some reminder for before our demonstration and our lesson. Okay, for us to be able to focus and give emphasis on the purpose of this demo reel, we will skip some part of the usual routines po, such as our creative attendance, our health report, the drill review. I know these are all important parts of our science classes or even other subjects classes, but for today's class, we will assume that they are already done. Okay, we will assume that we already conducted them for us to focus on our main concern. Lastly, our exit activity, I will just give it later, introduce, but we will not dwell on it very much anymore. Okay. All right. So for now, I will be before we go to the actual demonstration, I have to communicate a little to our teacher learners. Okay. I want to know first how many teacher learners it is that how many of them are here, and then sorry. I have to know po kasi how many of them are here for us to be able to conduct our spider web discussion better. Okay. May I request po the participants to type I in the chat area. Type I nga po for me to know your names. Just for me to be able to know who are the learners in our demo reel today. May you please, teacher participants, please type I for me not to confuse you with our Vival staff. Please type I po in our chat area. Okay. Ma'am Jillian, may I know po how many teacher learners joined or if there are any? Ayan, kasi we will not be able to conduct it effectively if we will not be if I will not know who will be our participant. Okay. Ma'am Jillian, may I ask po who among this po are our teacher participants or teacher learners today?
Yes, hello po, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What's your question po?
May I know, ma'am, who among are all the teachers included in the Zoom meeting po? My teacher learners for the day?
Yes po.
Okay, ma'am. Except for you, ma'am.
Yes po, and Vibal accounts.
Okay, okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you po. All right. Okay, so my dear teacher learners, thank you so much for joining me today po. You will act as my student po for today. Bear with me, I might call you children po, for that will set me in the mood. So please participate actively. I will be very thankful po. Okay, so my teacher participant, you will be asked to really work in this demo reel. So what you have to do is earlier I provided this material already. I hope you were able to read somehow. Somehow. And then, okay. Ayan. You will have to share po later during our spiderweb discussion your answer for this question. Is it important for animals to have homes? Why? And what did you learn from the article? You may use the prompt I included here for easier sharing. And then after your sharing, you will be asking another classmate of yours in our Zoom meeting. So you really have to call somebody po. You may use this prompt and call the name of our classmate here. For our second phase, you will have to agree or disagree to your classmate by saying, for example, I humbly agree or disagree to because. Okay, that's it. That will be for our second piece. Okay, and then I need po one volunteer teacher learner leader for our spider web discussion before we continue. This leader will be the one to ask the classmates to start with the first piece. For example, that leader will just say, let us answer the question, please start, and then call the name of the classmate. And then when I ring a bell here. I will ring a bell. That will mean we will start with our second piece wherein you will agree or disagree or comment to your classmates sharing. That will be just a simple statement. That can be one sentence statement. That will be enough. Okay. So teacher participants, am I clear with that po? Did you understand our instruction? My teacher participants? Okay, I'm looking at the chat area at the moment. Okay, let me just check our chat area. Sorry. Okay. Okay, may I request our learner participant to volunteer if you would like to be the leader. Just open your microphone po and say I. Okay, for me to know that you will be our learner leader for our spider web discussion. There's somebody speaking, but I just cannot hear. You may speak louder. Okay. Ma'am Nemor, would you like to be our leader for later? Okay. So later I will just choose somebody from the class na lang to be our leader. Okay. I think they're having difficulty opening the microphone. So thank you. Okay. Later I will just choose one learner from them to lead the spider web discussion for us. So let's continue, teachers. Okay, so these will be our rubrics for later learners. You have to decide later po on what will be our grade. Okay, teachers, Kabibal, let us now begin with the demonstration proper of our demo reel today. My dear teachers, I will ask you po to make use of the chat area when we start with our demonstration already. So please be able to use po our chat area. That will be our way to communicate with one another. Okay, let's start. afternoon, children. I am very happy that you joined me in our synchronous class today. Now, I want us to begin our day by learning the things that we need to accomplish for our synchronous class. I want you to read our objective by saying, today we will, and then read the statement or the objective that I will show. So, learners, I want you to type I if you want to read our objective for the day. I need you to volunteer and type I in our chat area for you to read our objectives for the day. Anyone? When I call your name, after you type I, you will have to read our objective. So today we will, okay, Julian,
Today, we will choose which animals to raise in a particular habitat.
very good. Let's have another one. Today we will, anyone? What are we going to learn today? Type I in the chat area.
Sir Armando raised his hand po.
Okay. Yes, Armando, may you please read our second objective?
Today, we will make inference about what helps animals adapt and survive in their particular habitats.
Wow, good job. Nice reading. Let's have another one. Anyone would like to read our last objective for the day? Anyone? Okay, let's call Riza. Riza, may you please read our objective, our last objective for the day? Today we will.
Today, we will communicate importance of animals and animal habitat protection.
Wow, thank you so much for your reading, Anak. Good job. Now, let us start achieving this objective by having a spider web discussion. So earlier today, children, I provided you with a learning material, reading material, which you may use for you to participate effectively in our spider web discussion today. So what you have to do, children, is to just share your answer to the simple question I provided you earlier. So is it important, children? After reading that article, do you think it's important for animals to have homes? Why? And what did you learn from this article? All right. So we will now have this spider web discussion led by our student leader. May I request Maria Leia to lead our spider web discussion today, Anak? You will just have to ask them to start with our first phase. And then when you hear my bell, go to the next one. Okay, Maria Leia, is that okay with you? I need you to open your microphone, Anak, if that will be okay. Is that okay, Anak? Maria Leia? Okay, not yet ready. May I ask anyone who would like to lead to be the leader of our spider web discussion? Don't worry, Ma'am Alice will be here to guide you. Anyone? You may open your microphone and say I. Anyone from our class? Oh, my students are too shy. Okay. Okay, since this is your first time, that's okay, children. I will be the one to introduce the faces na lang. But you have to participate and share your simple and short answers. Okay, so because I will be the one to call, I will be looking into your names and mentioning your names if it is your turn to talk. Okay, let us begin with our first phase. Children, is it important for animals to have homes? Why? And what did you learn from the given article? Okay, this will be just a short sharing. Let us begin with your classmate, Nemor. Nemor? Nemor, anak? Okay, ayun, Aryan. Aryan, nak, sige. May you please start with our this our sharing for the first piece. Do you think animals need to have home? Yes, Aryan.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Okay. I think it is important for animals to have homes because, like humans, they also need shelters and a person for him to talk or to look into. And what I've learned in this article is all about taking care of animals.
May you please call another one, Aryan? Call somebody from your classmates.
Okay, please be the next, Ma'am Riza.
Riza.
I think animals need some shelter for them to rest and for them to grow well as animals, because they are also like humans, that they also have their needs as they grow and live freely in this environment. And what I've learned, that we must take care and protect the animals around us.
May you please call somebody, anak?
Next would be Armando.
Armando. Your microphone is turned off, anak. Okay, that's okay. That happens during our online classes. Riza, may you please call another, anak?
Armando, I think, is ready.
Okay, Armando.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good
I think
afternoon.
animals need home for them to survive and for them to be able to have the shelter and a living. Thank you.
Call somebody. You may start by saying, please be the next.
I think Mom Riza.
Okay, anyone else who would like to share? Okay, if none will be sharing anymore, I think we may now go to our second phase. I want you to agree or disagree respectfully to your classmates, okay? So you may share something you think you agree with your classmates, with your classmates' answer, towards your classmates' answer by using the prompt I provided here. I humbly agree or disagree, and share your reasons why. All right. So may I ask somebody to start with our sharing? Let's call. Okay. Maria Leia, may you please begin sharing with for our second piece? Maria Leia. You may open your microphone if you're ready. Do you agree with your classmates' answers?
Hello po, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I humbly agree to my classmates' answer because animal shelter play a vital role in keeping our pets safe. Thank you po.
Thank you. May you please call somebody else? Anak, say please be the next.
Please be the next. Hmm. Sir Armando.
Armando.
I humbly agree to Ma'am Malaya
Mhm.
that because animals really need homes for them to survive and for them to be able, for them to be safe. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. May you please call somebody anak?
I call Sir Nimor.
Yes, Nimor. Okay, so I think your classmates already agreed to your answer. That's why they find it difficult to add additional or other input aside from those you have already mentioned. But I am very thankful that you were able to participate in our spider web discussion. Now, children, thank you so much to all of you. I want you to look at this graph we were able to create using your sharing. Your generous sharing enabled us to create a web of knowledge that look like this. Okay, I am very happy because your classmates are answering using complete sentence. I commend that. Another one is that you were able to really read the article and say something about it. Thank you so much for that. Now, I hope that in our next spiderweb discussion, more of you will be able to share and that you will be able to ask questions about your classmates' answers as well. Okay, so thank you so much for sharing your answers in our spiderweb discussion today. Now, children, with your observation and your answer to our given questions, I want you to decide, okay, what performance star. Okay, that's our class. Deserve based on your sharing during our spider web discussion today. Do we deserve the yellow star? Where everyone has meaningfully participated. I gave this rubric to you earlier, so I hope that you were able to read. Does our class deserve a green star, or maybe that bluish white star at the bottom? Okay, so may I request you to type your choice of performance rating using our chat area. Type there. What star do you think did we achieve today?
Helium.
Okay, somebody answered yellow. Oh, we have an Indian classmate here. Thank you for joining. What about the other? Well, somebody said yellow. What about the other? What do you think will be our agreed upon performance for today? Yellow as well. Okay. What about the others? Yellow too. Mm-hmm. Okay, based on your answers, majority of you said yellow. Okay, and because you were able to assess yourself, I will be giving you your yellow star for our spider web discussion today. Because you were able to participate meaningfully, you listened carefully and respectfully to your classmates, and we must keep this performance in the future. As your teacher, I suggest that we still have our open thinking and open emotion toward better performance in our next spider web discussion. So thank you so much for your self-rating. We will be striving more to have a stronger and better spider web discussion and knowledge web in our next spider web activity. Thank you so much, children. Now, the reason why I gave you that activity about the homes of animals is because I want you to understand the importance of habitat. Children, when we say habitat, this is the place where animals live.
Habitat.
Yes. Now, this is the place that provides the animals its need to survive. Those needs include the right food, shelter. Yes, animals need shelter and enough space for their safety. Now, children, I want you to help me choose the correct animals to raise in this different habitat by helping my friends. I have here some friends with me. Okay, I want you to help them choose the correct animals to raise in the different habitats. Let's begin with the first one. Okay, if you want to share your answers, all you need to do is to type I in the chat area, okay? Let's begin. I have here my friend, Mr. One, the fisherman, okay? Mr. One, the fisherman, wants you to choose three animals from here, three animals which you think will be able to live and survive in that habitat in the screen. So anyone who would like to choose the three animals from here, type I. Riza. Yes, Riza, open your microphone.
Shark, lobster, sea turtle.
Okay, thank you. I will be giving you recitation point. Not the goat, anak. Okay,
Yes,
not the
teacher.
goat.
No,
Thank you.
it's not living in water.
Yes, exactly. Very good sharing. Yes, anak. Lobster, shark, and sea turtle should be the one to go here, okay, in this habitat. Why? Because this is a water habitat. Okay, for a while. Okay. So we call this habitat ocean or inshore area and open sea. Okay, this is a habitat for many aquatic animals because this habitat provide them the food and the shelter they need. Now, children, look at the animals you have chosen. What do you think helped them survive in the ocean? If you did not choose the goat, then why did you choose these three? And what do you think helped them survive in the ocean? Anyone? Type I if you want to share your answer. What do you think helped them survive in the ocean? Okay. Armando. Armando, what do you think helped these aquatic animals survive in the ocean?
I think, ma'am, these animals survive in the ocean because we have fins and tails that let them survive in the water. Unlike the horse have the feet and it's not able to swim on the water.
Okay, thank you. Because there's something in them, according to Armando, that enables them to live in the water. Good job. Very good. There are body structures such as gills, fins, shells, and exoskeleton for protection that enable them to survive there. Let's have another one. Okay, I have here another friend of mine we call Mr. Thomas, the forest ranger. Mr. Thomas wants you to choose three animals from the picture that will survive and adapt to this habitat. Which do you think should be living in this habitat in the screen? Type I if you want to share your answer. Okay, smart boy, choose three. Yes, smart boy.
Hello,
Yes, we can hear you.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Okay, not yet ready. Let's call instead Aryan. Aryan, may you please choose three?
I choose beetle, lion, and monkey.
Okay, not the sea lion.
Not the sea lion, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Now, what do you think is this habitat wherein beetle, lion, and monkey as your choices should survive in? What habitat do you think is this? Okay, Riza, what habitat do you think is this?
Land or terrestrial?
Terrestrial or land? Very good. More particularly, or more specifically, anak, this is called a forest habitat. Good job. Now, forest habitat is habitat for different kinds of animals, and this is dominated by trees, but not limited to trees. They actually provide many food because they include plants, animals, fungi, and bacteria.
What
Imagine
is
the amount of food they provide, and it this provide. Now, children, what do you think help animals survive in the forest?
Please tell me, what is beetle?
Again, anak. What do you think helped them survive in the forest? Anyone? Type I if you want to share.
What is
Okay, Maria Leia.
Because they have legs, so they can
Wow,
walk on land.
one very good answer. Thank you. Because they have legs, and just like legs, there are other parts of their bodies that enable them to survive in the forest, such as sharp claws, the wings, body coverings, and others. Okay, let's go to the next one. This will be the last one for now. Okay, so children, look at these animals. I have a friend I call Mang Simon, the farmer. Mang Simon, the farmer, wants you to choose 3 animals that will survive in this habitat. What do you think, or which of these 4 do you think will be the correct animals for this habitat? Type I if you want to share your answer. Okay, Riza, choose 3, anak.
Carabao, chicken, and cow.
Okay, are we not going to include the seahorse?
No, it's in the sis teacher.
You're very good. It should be in the sea instead. Okay, so cow, carabao, and chicken go here. Now, this is what we call a farmland or rural areas. This is a land habitat, anak, where agriculture products are produced and livestock are raised. Now, let me ask you, have you been to a farmland? Yes or no?
Yes.
You may open your microphone.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes.
Wow, really?
Yes
Now, may
po.
you please tell me what place in our country did you go to that has farmland? Armando. What place in our country?
Mm, Mati City, ma'am.
Wow, thank you. That's somehow para. So thank you so much, Anna. Yes, I am expecting that because our country is an agricultural country. Did you know I'm very excited to talk to you about this habitat because just recently, actually last week, a second week of April, we celebrated our country's livestock and poultry week. So I hope that learners just like you will be able to know more about the livestock and poultry of our country. Okay, so I think you were able to know about the habitats already. We may now proceed, okay, to our challenges for the day. Children, if animals adopt and survive in their habitats, what helps them adopt and survive in their habitat? I want you to share your answer for my question by completing this statement. Animals adopt and survive in the habitat with the help of blank. Type I if you want to share your answer. Okay, Ariane. Not yet ready? Let's call Riza. Riza.
Animals adapt and survive in their habitats with the help of their body coverings, teacher.
Wow, very good. Body coverings. Any other idea? Maria Leia.
Animals adapt and survive in their habitats with the help of their body parts.
Wow, exactly. I will be giving these learners points, recitation point. Yes, children, animals adapt and survive in their habitat with the help of their body structure, the ones you call body parts. Congratulations. Okay, now children, we established today in our class that animals and their habitats are important. Here's a challenge for you. Children, I want you to think of ways we can do to protect animals in their habitat. Please complete the statement I provided. We can protect animals and their habitats by blank. Type I if you want to share your answer. Anyone? Yes, Ariane, may you please share your answer, Anna? We can protect.
We can protect animals and their habitats by avoiding deforestation.
Okay, nice one. Let's have another one. Good job, anak. Riza.
We can protect we can protect the animals and their habitats by not hunting them from their habitats.
Wow, good job. Thank you so much for your answers. Children, did you know that in this pandemic time, we are not the only ones affected by the pandemic? Not only the people are the ones struggling with this difficult time or difficult situation, even the animals, especially the stray ones, okay, or those in the zoos, okay, those in the zoos as well, they are affected by this pandemic. Now, I want you to have your answer for this last challenge. Children, during the pandemic, how can we help animals? Type I if you want to recite. You may complete the statement I provided. During the pandemic, how can we help animals? Type I if you want to recite. Okay, Riza.
During the pandemic, we can help or protect animals by giving them some food. If we see some animals on the street, we can give them some food.
Very good. Thank you, Anak. In this time, we are not the only ones having problems with food intake. Okay, even those animals outside, those without homes, they need our help in terms of food and shelter. Thank you so much and congratulations. I think you are now ready to go to our Google Classroom and answer our exit activity. Just click on the post, on my last post, you can find there a Google form and respond to that, okay, for our exit activity. Okay, mga kabibal, we will assume and pretend po that we are already done with the assessment part of this demonstration for us to be able to proceed to our explanation part or other part of our demo reel. Once again, thank you so much to my teacher learner participants. Salamat po. I will be always be thankful and grateful to you. I hope that you enjoyed participating here in our class. Thank you so much. Goodbye and thank you, children. Okay, so Kabibal, let us now go to some conclusion and reflection on our conducted demonstration. Okay, so teachers conducting your online class with the intention to interact with your learners and engage them as much as you want is not easy, but this is not impossible. Now, here are a few reminders I want to leave with you as we try and start using these strategies mentioned earlier. Okay. Earlier, our spider web discussion was conducted a little difficult, right? Because if you will notice, we have very limited learners here. And then the use of the chat area in the Zoom may not be popular or may not be familiar with everyone here. However, I am very thankful for those who participated. Now, when you conduct your own spider web discussion for teachers with your classes and you encountered such situation, be ready. Okay, do not get frustrated. That's okay. Okay, it will however planned, however greatly you planned, there will be times that unexpected events will happen. So in those times, do not get frustrated. You just have to relax and find ways to still involve them and to still continue with your activity. Okay, so few reminders about our spider web discussion. Teachers, spider web discussion will require us po to establish a sharing atmosphere with our learners. You cannot just conduct spider web discussion immediately. That is also the reason why in our demonstration today, I expected it to be a little difficult really because earlier I mentioned spider web discussion should be practiced. So that's okay. Okay, you start introducing it to them. If it did not go according to your plan, you may try it again some other time with a little more modification on what you did on the previous one. So that's how you do it. Build the learner's trust first. Let them trust us, and then be encouraging, teachers. However they respond to your prepared material, be encouraging, and do not forget to use kind words. Yun, as I mentioned earlier, do not easily give up. It's okay. Do not get frustrated. You will try it again some other time, reflect, and then improve what happened to your discussion or to your cooperative learning activity. Now, how are we going to not feel frustrated? Let's start with baby steps. Okay, it's always okay to start small. Do not set your expectation too high in your initial trial of spiderweb discussion. That's okay. All right. And then, in my personal experience, as much as I want not to involve myself in the spiderweb discussion because I'm teaching elementary students, I really had to use prompts. Okay. And then I somehow, and just like earlier, I really butt in when it is not working. But that's okay. The learners need to feel what is the problem for you to improve it the next time. Okay? But if you want to use prompts, especially when you're teaching young learners, you need to gradually remove it as well when they get used to it after some time. Okay? If you are teaching in high school, the better spiderweb discussion will be for sure. Okay? Or if you're teaching higher levels, it will be easier to conduct cooperative learning strategy just like this one. Okay. In terms of the authentic material I introduced to you earlier, I really like using authentic materials because I really find it motivating for the learners. My suggestion is that you just choose the relevant ones. Okay. Teachers, I suggest using local and familiar authentic materials. Be creative, but maximize its use. It is not easy po to find a reliable and correct authentic material. Okay? It is not easy to find something that will definitely suit our class for that day. So maximize its use. And then make sure it is appropriate for your learners in terms of content and language. Finally, do not ever forget to give credits to your sources. In our demonstration today, I did not include that part, but whenever I teach, I always mention it at the during the classes that I did not own this material. I get it from somewhere. Okay, I got it from somewhere. I always mention that. Okay. So I think that will end my demo reel for today. I hope that you learned something from today. I think we are now ready to answer some of the questions. Ma'am Jillian, I think we may now po answer some of the questions of the teachers.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you
Thank you
very much,
po.
teachers, for participating. We're now going to proceed to our Q&A portion. And if our teachers here in the Zoom link have any questions for ma'am, you may type it in our chat box or you may unmute your microphones po. You may personally ask your questions to our speaker for today. And to our ka-Vibal that are watching in YouTube, you may also type in your questions in our comment section or our comment box. So let me read some question. We have a question from Beng Ablaza. What should we do po, ma'am, especially for young learners na hindi po nagpa-participate sa ating online class?
Thank you so much for that question. That is definitely relevant for us, teacher. For me po, we must be more understanding in that case. If the learner is not participating, it doesn't mean that the learner is lacking. Okay, it only means that we need to find ways to encourage them to participate. One way I think that we can do is to start with some activities that will not highlight the participation of the learner alone. We may start with learners sharing by pairs, etc. So that it will not be overwhelming for that learner. We just need to be more creative po. If the learner is young, especially if you're teaching in the elementary, that's the challenge for us po. No? For me, we need to really make use of guided strategies. For example po, the prompts I used earlier, I find that definitely effective, especially for those learners who cannot uh, compose answers immediately, okay, and are too shy. I usually encourage them by, ayan, completing the statement I provided. Sometimes, instead of sharing in the class, okay, I ask them to type in the chat area. Okay, that's what I do. Okay, I ask them to chat in the chat area, and there I will be able to read their answers. I understand those learners because I myself, when I was a student, I was an introvert. So I think it's just a matter of encouraging them to participate. It's a matter of encouraging them to share and, yeah, build the trust. Okay, let these learners feel that they are safe to share whatever it is that's in their mind, for them to not get discouraged to share in the class. Also, let's be careful of our words, especially in terms of giving feedback, immediate feedback. For example, if the student answered incorrectly, we must be very careful with that. Sometimes those are the reasons why the learners are afraid to share their answers. So, ayun, let's be more creative in encouraging them. Let's find a strategy that is not overwhelming for them to participate, and build the trust. Make them feel they are welcome and they are safe to share to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Our next question is from Danilo Lagata. What are your tips naman po, ma'am, for those conducting modular classes, those that cannot meet online? Paano po ma-engage ang ating young learners?
Okay, thank you so much. That is challenging. Okay, at the moment, I find that really challenging. Uh, for now, I cannot give you the best answer, but I will share what I do on my own. Okay, I am not guaranteeing that this will be the best way to help them, but let me just share it because somehow I find it effective so far. What I do for the modular classes, I make sure that the feedback I provide for them is personalized. Okay, I really make sure that they will feel I am reading what they are sending. Okay, and I modify some of the activities there, making it more encouraging for them to answer as well. Uh, um, I even include some activities. I print some activities, include it there, okay, for them to be able to feel that I really need their answers and they are not just doing it to comply. Okay, our responsibility for those learners who are answering using the modules is to provide them with feedback. Okay, the feedback may not come to them immediately because of different concerns in terms of communication. Especially, we cannot easily go to the schools, right, and retrieve their modules. So I really make sure that you will provide them with clear feedback, okay, and make sure that in your feedback you're really like talking to them, okay, and allow them time to really read your feedback. So for now, that's the only way I think I can connect with those learners answering their modules instead of attending online classes. Thank you. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you very much, ma'am. That's all the questions we have for now. Any last reminders to our viewers for today po?
Yes, may I present my screen po? There's something I would like to share to our teachers. Okay, before I leave. Sorry. Ayan. Um, my dear co-educators, having teaching po as our passion is not a walk in the park. Okay, it will definitely be challenging. And for now, I want you to be reminded. I want to share this things to you po before ending this demo reel, because I know po that we are all trying to survive this teaching situation at the moment while still learning to love it more. Okay, so teachers, here are some reminders I want to give po in terms of our teaching. First, during our teaching, teachers, let us not get tired of being encouraging. Let us not stop using kind words for our learners. Let us smile for them, okay? And even smile for your co-teachers, because we don't know how this simple gesture may affect them, or we hope may cause them relief in this difficult time. Now, after teaching, teachers, I encourage you to be reflective without being harsh to yourself. Okay, that will be our challenging task for this new normal setup of teaching. Finally, let us stay healthy po. Let us stay healthy and happy, so that we'll be able to serve more and serve longer for the sake of our learners and for the sake of God, who are these learners and God are the very reasons of our effort. So thank you so much for being with me today. Let us hang on. Better days are coming. Stay healthy, happy, and safe. Thank you so much po.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your message and reminders to our viewers for today. There we have it. In behalf of Vibal Group Incorporated, I would like to thank our speaker for today for this very interactive and insightful demo teaching session. It is an honor to have you with us today, ma'am. And to all our Vibal viewers, all thanks to you for your continuous patronage to our daily learning session. Special thanks to our teachers who acted as our students for today. Miss Arian Giselle Alfonso, Miss
Thank
Maria
you
Lay
po.
Pacatang, and Sir Nimor Verceles. Thank you very much, teachers, and to our teachers who already left the Zoom meeting. You may download Miss our speaker's presentation in our chat box. Don't forget to register to get your e-certificate of participation. We also encourage you to subscribe and watch on our official Viva Facebook and YouTube channel. Muli, maraming salamat at magandang araw